This Cowboys Mailbag is made possible by Manscaped, the makers of the all-new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. Say all about the latest and greatest in men's grooming later on in today's show, but there are some super thanks to get to. I do want to shout out Jared Martin. This one came in leading up to our trade deadline coverage. You never got a chance to shout it out, but we have our rules here. A super thanks will get you a shout out at minimum on the show. Thank you, Jared Martin. Super thanks it's been around for a while now. It allows you to donate outside of live videos. So just like a super chat during live, super thanks when just watching a normal on-demand video. Click that thanks icon, edit your message. We appreciate your support. So if you do it, we will always give you a shout out. All right, another one from Joseph Rodriguez. Would you get rid of Gallup or Cooks to draft Xavier Worthy? I do kind of want to just play Jalen Tolbert more. I don't know if you have to get rid of Cooks. I think Cooks is going to be here because he's not that expensive. Depends on where I have to draft Xavier Worthy. He's a good player. He's fast, kind of skinny. If I can get him on somewhere on day 2, I'm far more intrigued than my suspicion of him going between your round 1 and round 2 picks would be my guess. Good receiver class that could certainly lead to somebody like Worthy sliding down. If you like our Cowboys mailbags, then like the video. Helps tell me that this is what you guys want, and you want even more videos like these. You want us to keep doing the mailbags. I love the audience interaction, but it's up to you guys. That's why we follow the views, right? Like the video if you like our Cowboys mailbags. From Xavier Worthy Burner, which is hilarious. We had 2 of these, basically. Thoughts on getting JT Sanders or A.D. Mitchell out of Texas? Maybe even grab Jaylan Ford in later rounds at linebacker. I'd love Worthy, but I think Mitchell is better to fill the Michael Gallup role. I do agree with that part. I think Worthy's kind of more of a Cooks replacement potentially, and Mitchell fits the Gallup role better with just a slightly bigger body overall. I like A.D. Mitchell. Again, I've seen some round 1 buzz from him for PFF. I'm not sure I'm there yet on him. Seems a little bit rich for me. I like JT Sanders a lot, actually. I can't see Dallas investing another top 70 pick, whatever it is, into a tight end. That seems rich for me. As for a late-round linebacker, makes sense. You probably spend another day 3 pick at minimum, although you're going to get Overshown back from Texas guys, and maybe Overshown and Bell, along with Clark and Elvie. Maybe if they're all healthy, maybe that's all you need at linebacker. We had 2 super thanks on draft topics. So, trade deadlines over, but the Cowboys season is still ongoing. Do you want NFL draft videos already? More chance to hear have your opinions heard. Why for yes and for no? It's the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know why or N. Roberto Poll, how good has Markquese Bell been? Unleash Bell, and is the linebacker Rashaan Evans playing? Markquese Bell, it's only been a 2-game sample size. I don't want to get over my skis with it. He has been awesome. And he's actually been awesome every snap he's played this year. So it's kind of still a smaller sample size since some of that was kind of later on in games when it was out of hand. I have been wildly impressed with Markquese Bell. I still get anxious about the size. This is a great test for him. How does he hold up against a really great Eagles offensive line if they get their hands on him? He's been awesome in coverage. He's played fast, played downhill. I love what I've seen from Markquese Bell. Small sample size, not going to overreact yet. He's been better than Damone Clark, though. He is your healthiest linebacker right now. Not saying a lot, but he's your healthiest linebacker. Evans played 7 snaps, and he's kind of, I think, could be the thumper role if you need that role as the season goes on, which you probably will. Abja Pawar, Josh McDaniels as our OC. Would it become explosive? The issue that we always run into with Josh McDaniels, right? In New England, it works. He's good. It's effective. It gets good results with or without Brady. Then you go outside of New England, and it's a dumpster fire. It was a disaster in Denver, a disaster in New England. Jimmy G was not playing well, but McDaniels picked him specifically. So I would be anxious there. I think he'll be on your list. That's fine. I would worry a little bit about just McDaniels as a coach, period. But he has shown abilities. He has shown to be a good offensive coordinator. The negative downside, the stock you're buying is as low as possible right now. Chris B., we need Charlotte Jones instead of Catboy. You know, the Bengals did something similar. Katie Blackburn, who's Mike Brown's daughter, she's kind of taken over and done wonders for the organization. I would love it if Charlotte could do something similar for Dallas, because I don't trust the Jones boys. I'm down to trust the Jones women a little bit more. Now, today's show is made possible by Manscaped. They have launched the all-new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. This is a next-generation trimmer with interchangeable blade heads for whatever shade you can imagine. Upgrade your grooming game to the Ultrasphere this year by going to manscaped.com and using promo code Cowboys for 20% off and free shipping. This is the 5th-generation trimmer. You're going to have 2 interchangeable next-gen skin-safe blade heads. There's the standard one for taking just a little bit off the top, and the new foil blade to go smooth wherever your heart desires. The bad boy also features dual LED spots to provide contrast on multiple skin tones so you can shed some light to your darkest places. They have 3 length-setting combs as well. And, of course, it's waterproof because, let's be honest, that's probably the best spot to do it anyway. Shaving, to be clear. Get 20% off and free shipping with code Cowboys over at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with promo code Cowboys. Link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. From Carson Slays, $5. What are the Cowboys' Super Bowl odds to win it this year? I can check that right now for you guys in terms of what the Super Bowl odds are. They're probably okay-ish. They're down there at plus 1,000. So that's behind the Niners, behind the Eagles, and very similar to the Lions right now, which I think is fair with where this team is at currently. Leroy Pearson Jr., if you make it to the conference championship game and lose, is McCarthy back or do you make a change? It's early. First-round pick options, referring to the Cowboys draft section. Thank you, Leroy. I can't envision a scenario where you made it the furthest you've made it in 28 years, and you go, got to fire the head coach. It is we can be upset, we can be sad, we can be mad, we can feel whatever we need to feel. If you make it to the conference championship game, I think you have to bring it back. I think that's kind of the only viable path that you could really expect Jerry to do. Maybe they'll be more aggressive then afterwards. Abja Pawar, Dak should keep dealing. How do our O-line receivers stack up against the D-lines and corners respectively? And will Mike stay aggressive? I hope so. Don't be scared. Do not be scared and go, we're going to play it cautious, go back to the slant flat stuff. The changes, the tweaks they've made passing game-wise have been for the better. Keep doing them. It's working. Keep doing them. O-line, I am worried about with the defensive line you're going to face. That is a stacked unit. It's just dogs everywhere. Semi-joking because there's like multiple Georgia players there too. Receivers, though, Lamb, Ferguson, they could have a big day against that Eagles secondary. It's not been that great this year. From Marshall, is Hurts better than Dak? I think they have different strengths and weaknesses. I think both quarterbacks are really good. I think both these guys are top 10 QBs, and I think if the teams were flipped, I don't think the results would have been any real different over the past couple of seasons, relative to where they were in their careers. Like, if you put healthy Dak when Hurts was like his rookie year, I think it's a little bit different, but I think you guys know what I mean there. Both these guys are great. Both teams should love their quarterbacks because they're very good. They're top 10 guys. It's tough to find them. Which one do you prefer? I had gone into the year leaning slightly towards Dak. I'm not going to change my mind on that front there. I would also like to point out that last year we were told, interceptions, worst thing ever. Oh, my God, terrible. And now Hurts has turned into a turnover machine. And he's had some bad luck, by the way. That's how football goes sometimes. You get unlucky. And we should be able to identify those and say, you know what, not the quarterback's fault. Well, they're still doing it to the quarterback. So pick one. Better QB. DP for Dak Prescott, JH for Jalen Hurts. Sound off in the comments section. AJ Medell, we gave 8-8 Garrett a long run. Why not 12-5 McCarthy? You're right. I would also argue you shouldn't have given 8-8 Jason Garrett a long run. It's not a good thing. I don't want to make a mistake because you made a mistake to the other guy. So, conference championship game, keep him. Less than that, we got to have a talk about it. We have to. Because I can't just be like, okay, you know what, you're a top 6, whatever it is, team. That's great. Got to be more than that. The odds of getting worse are better than getting, a more improved team. That's we have to acknowledge that too. but I can't just sit there every year and be one and done in the playoffs or two and done. That's just not, it's not going to be good enough for me. Elmatic 7, I think Turpin will get more play this week. The Cowboys they've played Lamb more on the outside in the X role for Michael Gallup, and I think that means you're allowed to play Turpin in the slot more. You can free up some more slot snaps. So I hope so. They ran the cheat motion where they got the guy in motion at the snap on the outside, then cutting up field quickly with Jake Ferguson. Now do it with Turpin and Cooks and stress the field vertically as well. We will have a live Cowboys-Eagles watch party for you guys on Sunday. Do not miss out. Hit that sub button right now. From Carson Slays, which team has the better defense? Dallas has the better defense. Now, you wouldn't know that based on how some of the Eagles reporters have acted about their front. Their front's really good, don't get me wrong, and they've got some big names at corner and safety as well. Not like the Eagles' defense is terrible. I do think the Cowboys have a better one, however. Evolves 91, think the Cowboys will win? If yes, what's the score? They have a chance to win. I think this is going to be a close, hard-fought game. I think the Eagles are right to be favored. I would not be surprised if the Cowboys win. Wouldn't be surprised if they lost. Would be surprised if it was a blowout either way. I think you're looking at a 26-24, something along those lines type of football game. Darius Carter. Whoa. Season's not over if the Cowboys lose. Far from it. But your confidence about being able to make some noise come playoff time is going to be impacted, even though you'll have a chance to redeem yourself later on. But, take Lawrence. I thought he said all the right things this week, saying we're not going to sugarcoat it. This is a great Eagles team. We have to win so we can, if we want to beat our chest and say we're a great team, whatever, we have to beat them. I think that's right. Otherwise, this is a litmus test game. Are you a top 3 contender, top 2 contender? Or are you going to be the 5 seed, whatever, and beat the NFC South team, then lose against the Niners or Eagles again? Get some confidence going here. And you win this game, all of a sudden, home field advantage, where you've been great at home this year, is very much in play for the Dallas Cowboys. Pick the score for me of the Cowboys against the Eagles. Sound off in the comments section. Brian Parson, the best play McCarthy called this year was the Dak touchdown against the Chargers. Need more calls like that. Let Dak run, go Cowboys. I love it for a lot of reasons. You ran motion at the snap, and you had an option play on it. You had a triple option. And it worked because you made the defense think harder. I loved the design. Fantastic. 2 guys. 1 guy goes with Pollard. 2 goes with Lamb. The numbers are in favor of Dak untouched. Gorgeous play design. Leroy, I had to suffer through the Steelers and Seahawks at the trade deadline. We need you next year. I think the Commanders made that game a lot easier. We were live, though, here, Leroy, for the Cowboys trade deadline. We were not on the main coverage because we focused it on that front. So my apologies for that, my friend. The Commanders, they did make that a game. They're going to be not as good now, but they did compete against Philadelphia. Again, they showed you can have some success through the air. Chris B., if we lose, it has to be close, not like the 49ers game. A blowout is going to be a nightmare for Dallas. It's going to be a long week. Long week of, and even after that, your schedule gets easier. It's going to be, you're not beating the good teams, which would be fair, but it'd be a long week. Not Jeremy Chugs' burner. I think the Eagles' defense equals better personnel. Dallas D equals Quinn. I do think Quinn's a better defensive coordinator. I'll give you that one for sure. Evolves. What are the stats for Dak? Percentage. You mean against the Eagles? Let's go optimistically here. Over, under, 2.5 touchdowns, 265.5 yards, and 15.5 yards on the ground. Carson Slays. You think Mike is better off letting Dak do what he wants to do or forcing him with plays to do? The answer is it has to be a relationship that works and communicates, and they agree on ideas. If your head coach wants to do A and your quarterback wants to do B, it ain't going to work. It's what happened at the end with Rodgers and McCarthy. They didn't align, ended up being a disaster. They have to be able to agree, and I think the past 2 weeks, you've seen more of that.